Book Thief by Marcus Zuzik. I butchered that name. Anyway, I'm gonna be reading this. Just kind of starting off in the middle of the book. Uh, it's actually not even the beginning of a chapter. It's a part of a chapter, or a part, as they call it in this book. Uh, a short, well, it's reversed. A short history of a Jewish fist fighter. Starting on page 187. I kind of do a voice for this whenever I read it out loud. Okay. So, here we go. A short history of a Jewish fist fighter. Max Wildenberg was born in 1916. He grew up in Stuttgart. When he was younger, he grew to love nothing more than a good fist fight. He had his first fist bout, when he was 11 years old and skinny as a whittlebone handle. Oh my, okay, hold on, I gotta get into this sync for reading, or talking. He had his first bout when he was 11 years old and was as skinny as a whittled broom handle. Wanzel Gromba. Names aren't my specialty. That's who he'd fight. He had a smart mouth, that Grumber kid. A wire, curly hair. The local playground demanded that they fight, and neither boy was about to argue. They fought like champions for a minute. Just as it was getting interesting, both boys were hauled away by their collars. A watchful parent. A trickle of blood was dripping down Max's mouth. He tasted it. It tasted good. Not many people who came from his neighborhood were fighters, and if they were, they didn't do it with their fists. In those days, they said the Jews preferred to simply stand and take things, take the abuse quietly, and then work their way back up to the top. Obviously, every Jew is not the same. He was nearly 2 years old when his father died, shot to pieces in a grassy hill. When he was 9, his mother was completely broke. She sold the music studio that had doubled as their apartment, and they moved to his uncle's house. There, he grew up with 6 cousins who battered, annoyed, and loved him. Fighting the oldest one, Isaac, was the training ground for his fist fighting, as he trounced almost every night. At 13, tragedy struck again when his uncle died. As percentages would suggest, his uncle was not a hothead like Max. He was the type of person who worked quietly for very little reward. He kept to himself and sacrificed everything for his family. And he died for something growing in his stomach, something aching to a poison bowling ball. As is often the case, the family surrounded the bed and watched him copulate. Somehow, between the sadness and loss, Max Voldenberg, who was now a teenager, hard hands, blackened eyes, and a sore tooth, was also a little disappointed, even disgruntulated, as he watched his uncle sink slowly into the bed, he decided that he would never allow himself to die like that. The man's face was so accepting, so yellow and tranquil, despite the violent architecture of his skull. The endless jawline stretching for miles, the pop-up cheekbones, and the pothole eyes. So calm it made the boy want to ask something. Where's the fight, he wondered. Where's the will to hold on? Of course, at 13, he was a little excessive in his harshness. He had not looked something like me in the face, not yet. Keep in mind the author is death. I often forget that when reading this book. Sorry for discontinuing reading. I know it's a bit poor in the continuousness of my speech. Anyway, back to it. With the rest of them, he stood around the bed and watched the man die. Safe merge from life to death. The light in the window was gray and orange, the color of the summer skin, and his uncle appeared relieved when his breathing disappeared completely. When death captured me, the boy vowed, I will feel my fist on his face. Personally, I quite like that. Such a stupid quality. Yes, I like that a lot. From the moment on, he started the fight with a greater regularity. A group of die-hard friends and enemies would gather down at a small reserve on Stubert Street, and they would fight in the dying light. Archetypical Germans, the old Jew, the boys from the East, it didn't matter. There was nothing like a good fight to expel teenage energy. Even the enemies were an inch away from friendship. He enjoyed the tight circles and the unknown, the bitter sweetness of uncertainty, to win or to lose. It was a feeling in the stomach that would be stirred around until he thought he could no longer tolerate it. The only remedy was to move forward and throw punches. Max was not the only type of boy to die thinking about it. And I gotta stop now. I didn't even read the whole part. I like reading. Reading is good. I find it difficult often to continuously read because often I'll get tired. But yeah, I'm just gotta stop here because I have things to do at the moment, and this kind of just to say, hey, I'm creating a video, but yeah. On with your day, and good luck to you. May good fortune fall upon all those who view this video, and goodbye.